So this breathing mobility drill is going to be abdominal hollowing. And as we're hollowing, we're going to be taking our fingers right underneath the ribs here and just massaging a little bit around those ribs. Now be careful not to go too deep into the cavity like this, because especially on this side, all you'll be doing is pushing into the liver. All I want to do is just very lightly, just hook your fingers just around those ribs and just give a little pressure up just on the inside of the border of those ribs. But first we need to do an abdominal hollow. So what that looks like is we're going to blow all of our air out, and after we blow our air out, we're going to breath hold. And then when we breath hold, we're going to do this. Suck the belly to the spine, allow the chest to open up, and that'll create a vacuum. So this vacuum, as we bring the chest up and suck the belly in, almost as if we're trying to take a really deep chest breath, we'll end up getting a good vacuum here. But when we exhale all the way, hold our breath and do that, we're going to get a really strong vacuum. And then from there, I'll show you a few more, we'll kind of layer on the different drills here. So here's what it looks like just to do the abdominal hollow or the abdominal vacuum. So you kind of see how that creates a big vacuum there. It's important to be able to hold our breath on the exhale, fully exhale as much as possible. Now, to open that up even more, I'm going to come into a bridge and really try to open this up, reach overhead, and that's going to help stretch everything out. So here's what it looks like. Now, as I'm doing that, I'm really trying to focus on creating a strong abdominal vacuum and reaching overhead. And what we're doing here is really loosening up a lot of the fascial tension of the fiber and the surrounding tissues, because that diaphragm has connections to a lot of tissues around the thorax and in the abdomen. So this is going to be a really good way to stretch that out. Now, the final thing, instead of putting my hands up, next time I come up, I'm just going to use my fingers and dig under my ribs a little bit to try to dig out some of that tension around the ribs. And because that diaphragm is up really high with the vacuum, I'll be able to get to the ribs a little more and not be pushing into my liver. So here's what that looks like. And again, all I was doing is just kind of kneading, just kind of getting in there and just working my fingers in, just massaging a little bit, nothing too crazy. But that's going to be the full sequence of the abdominal vacuum release for better breathing.